So, as promised, we said we would answer everyone's questions that you very kindly sent in. I was quite scared that no one was sending any in, so thank you for humouring us.
Everyone. Okay, so the first question we've got is how much money are you spending per day?
This definitely varies, doesn't it? If we're staying in a tent and we're just buying from markets
And cooking ourselves.
we probably spend a couple of pounds a day.
Yeah.
Between the two of us. It's really cheap. If we buy food in the market, it's really cheap, and we're just buying vegetables, porridge, and sometimes
bread.
water, and about 3 packets of Oreos. And if we stay in a hotel, it probably costs us like £5-6 each. And if we go out for dinner, it probably costs maybe eight quid each. And if we have some biscuit sours, then maybe it's 10-12.
Or some beers, or both. But that doesn't happen very often.
Bike maintenance. When will you get things changed? Any DIY botch jobs?
So I guess we've both been pretty lucky so far with our bikes. We haven't really had any major issues, and we both just had services in Lima. Although every single problem I had before the service has actually got worse since the service, so that's not ideal. Any DIY botch jobs? I don't think so, you know.
No, I feel like the duct tape hasn't had as big a use as it
As it
should
could
do.
have done. I've had quite a lot of punctures recently. I've got my rear tyre's very worn, so I was getting a puncture every couple of days. But I just got a new tyre, so that problem should be fixed. So all good on the bike maintenance front. I think, if we have some big challenges, that might be a problem, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
I guess I had to change my whole rear cassette and my middle chainring
In the service.
just because they were so worn.
Just a lot of kilometres.
And a new chain, so I've had a new chain. You're still on the same chain?
Still the same training.
Yeah.
Do you get saddle sores or chafing, and if so, how do you deal with it?
I have done, and the key, which is a tip learned from Abdullah, is just stay clean. It's all about cleanliness, and it's definitely the days when we're cycling gravel tracks and it's hot.
Yeah,
When
hot
it's
and
like
bumpy.
when it's like you're sweating and it's bumpy and it's a long day and you're probably camping for a couple of nights in a row and you can't really rinse your lycra. That's when it gets bad. So,
Yeah.
cleanliness.
Yeah, I would agree.
But
it's all right. It's all right, isn't it? We don't really get.
It's all right. Yeah, it's never gotten.
It's okay.
Maybe once I had to message Phoebe. Actually,
As
it got
in
pretty
UK.
bad. That was on that review section. Fitness, legs impact. How will running feel?
So I guess I've kind of given up running. Well, after my broken foot, I need to give up running for a bit, really. Anyway, fitness and legs. Yeah, I guess it does. I don't know. Does it get easier? I guess. Thing is, every day isn't like most days aren't really that hard. We just ride quite slowly for the whole day. It doesn't really hurt the legs too much, and I don't really feel like I've got much fitter. It's quite a kind of different thing. I remember I had this last time as well, just like riding slowly all day, every day. I guess probably we have got fitter, but it doesn't really feel like we're getting dramatically fitter. I don't feel like a kind of, I still feel the same really.
Yeah, I feel like it's such low intensity.
Yeah.
I don't feel that much fitter, but maybe we're better at doing low intensity days. And my running fitness is completely gone. I
You
can't
should
run
go
anymore.
running actually.
I should go running more. But also, it's actually quite hard to run here because of the dogs. The dogs are so bad and they hate runners, so it's actually just not a pleasure.
What are you listening to?
I listen to a lot of podcasts. If we're on like a motorway section or a really boring bit and we're just in the hard shoulder, I'm just spamming podcasts. Bud pods.
Yeah, give the people some recommendations.
A lot of Bud pods. Hamish and Andy. The Rory Stewart and Alice Campbell's new podcast, which is great.
Edmund Band.
Edmund and Band, yeah. Reasons to Make Me Cheerful, it's good. And a lot of others, to be fair. obviously off menu, films to be buried with. The list is pretty endless.
And I actually don't have any headphones, so I just listen to my own thoughts.
And Phoebe may have bought some headphones and then...
Yeah, I tried to buy some headphones because I was pretty sick of my own thoughts, but I lost them after about 15 minutes of having them, so that's that now.
How are you planning routes? Day by day Garmin popularity routing, question mark?
So I guess this hasn't really been a thing until now because there just aren't very many roads at all. So if you want to go from somewhere to somewhere, there's usually one option. Sometimes there might be a more difficult road or a gravel road that we have to decide whether to take, but mainly we don't really have very much choice. We've been talking to other people about where they liked going and then looking up where we want to go. But yeah, we haven't really done any route planning, but I think that'll get more relevant when we get to other places. So Q&A part 2, watch this space.
Yeah, it's very changeable. We change our minds all the time about where we're going to go. And that's basically only one road. If you want to go somewhere, there's only one road. So
yeah, so
we
just
don't.
take it.
Yeah, we don't really plan routes.
What's the best snack you've tried?
Ooh. In Peru, we discovered granadillas, which are like a passion fruit, but they're so delicious and they're so cheap. So we scran a lot of granadillas, a lot. Scranadillas.
That's a good
And avocados are really good here.
Yeah, they're really
They're
cheap.
super delicious.
And also, all Peruvians love avocados.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd share that with the world because that was a surprise to me. But yeah, everyone loves them, and so do we.
And sublimes.
Sublimes.
Nestle's Sublime.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's like chocolate with peanuts in it. It's
Really
great.
delicious, yeah.
Surfing harder now you have T-Rex arms.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I've been surfing a few times, and yeah, I found it a lot harder after months and months and months of no paddling. But I did always find it quite hard.
I found it really hard the first couple of sessions, and I lasted about an hour because I was so tired and I had no arms left. But now it's actually fine. It's come back really quickly, so it's okay. But my upper body is pretty weak.
All the water filtering isn't quite enough.
Yeah, it's not.
Enough,
Just don't just sit in this position all day.
Best place you've seen so far?
This is a hard one actually. In Argentina, Perito Moreno Glacier was pretty spectacular. I don't know, it was just like a mad big glacier falling into a lake.
Icebergs.
Yeah, it was like iceberg. We went on a cool boat trip and we saw bits of the glacier collapsing in front of us. It was really, really awesome, and the lake was so blue. There's probably so many others, but what's it like to see the world powered by your own body?
I think this is a great question. And it's great, it's really great. I think it's different to seeing the world not powered by your own body, which is obviously also great, but it's very satisfying. Like, we just climbed up into the mountains again, and I just think it is really a lot more satisfying when you feel like you've really earned what you're seeing. And also because we have quite long periods between the places that we're seeing, which obviously they're still nice, but they're kind of, the viewpoints are more spread out, whereas I feel like people who are just getting a bus from place to place, it's kind of all a bit constant. They don't really have the lows, and then they can appreciate the highs. And it's just great being really hungry and tired all the time.
You feel like you've earned it, and you get to touristy places and we're just like so excited to go to the most touristy restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
And drink some beer that isn't Pilsen.
But so the other day we got a bus to a lake from somewhere, we had a day off cycling, we got a bus, and then came back and continued, we didn't get a bus for part of the route. And yeah, I just didn't, it was a very nice lake that we went to see, but I just didn't think it was as satisfying as when we cycled to places.
How is Phoebe's foot? I assume it's you.
My foot.
Your foot.
My
yeah.
foot, yeah. It's pretty good. I'm really pleased. I'm surprised. I'm pleased. But yeah, it hurts a bit sometimes when we've been going uphill a lot, or when I've been walking a lot, or when the ground's a bit uneven, or when I'm in a bad mood. But mainly it's completely fine. So I'm very grateful.
And we did a 10-day trek.
Yeah, we did 10, and it hurt.
Doing big days.
And it hurt a bit, but yeah, it's fine. And the swelling's gone down. Now it's just got weird tan lines on. Are you learning much Spanish?
Yes, absolutely. And we've kind of made it a bit of a mission to try and learn as much as possible. I came in, I did AS level Spanish, but I'd actually just forgotten it all, and it was pretty pathetic in Argentina. But I think the learning curve has been very steep, and I'm pretty proud of how much Spanish we've learned. And we've been trying to read a book, a John Grisham, but maybe the quality of the book is testament to our Spanish progression, because we have not read much of it.
Yeah, but I want to know what happens to it.
Best wild camp spots.
So I guess best, there are two things we look for in a wild camping spot. First, great view, Instagrammable view. Second, access to water, running fresh water, and flat, non-spiky ground. So quite often some of the best spots are by rivers because they've got water, sometimes sand, which is really comfortable for sleeping, and they quite often have nice views. But we've had some really nice camping spots.
We had a pretty wild one in the canyon. We just came down.
Canyon. That was a great
where it was like a 100-foot drop, and we were just perched on a cliff ledge in a tunnel. It was crazy.
What's the best bit of kit you've brought out with you?
I'd say practically, like a necessity, would have to be our soya press water filter, which means we just have clean water wherever we go. And water is actually kind of expensive to buy, drinking water, so it's just really nice to be able to just use tap water.
No plastic.
And filter that, or even from the rivers. It's just been a real lifesaver, especially in remote areas. And it means we don't have to carry so much. I've seen some people, like Anna Laura was carrying.
She was carrying like 6 or 7 litres of water all the time.
Whereas we only have to carry 2 or 3, which is so much better. We just have to plan to be near a river or a tap.
Yeah.
And the other thing would be if we're talking about pleasure, it would have to be the chairs. The ground chairs are so good.
Yeah, I was a doubter, but
after a day of cycling, being
amazing.
able to sit down in a comfy chair and cook dinner is priceless, really. Newly washed cycling kit every day, or nah?
I think we've had a problem. It's actually just been quite cold. We're really near the equator, but I mean, we're both wearing fleeces. It is actually just quite cold. So I guess we haven't really been washing our cycling kit because it genuinely wouldn't dry on the back of our bikes, which sounds mental, but it's true. So I guess we try and rinse them when we get to places. But I think as it gets hotter and also we get sweatier, we're going to be rinsing them more every day.
Yeah. I've got 2 pairs on rotation. Try not to wear them for more than 2 or 3 days, but the 3rd day it's going to be a big rip.
What food do you pack?
At the moment, we're very blessed, and I'm basically just packing a couple of bags of Oreos and maybe some fruit and lunch. But basically, at the moment, it's not too remote, so we go through towns quite a lot.
All the time, and there are shops everywhere in Peru.
Yeah, and each shop sells everything, so
yeah, everything.
So we can stop for lunch, stop for dinner, and it's okay. So we're not having to go. But back in Patagonia, we probably had to pack for 3 days maximum. Sometimes we go 3 days without seeing anything, so we'd have to pack 3 days of food, maybe a day or 2 of water.
We do have some emergency pasta actually.
Yeah, we've got some emergency Ushuaien pasta that's in my bag, and hopefully it'll make it to Alaska. Cooking setup.
So we've got a Trangia, the world's best stove. Which is just really good. It's been really easy to buy meths to cook with here. but I don't know if that'd be more of a problem. I've also got an MSR Whisper Light, which burns petrol. It burns everything. It burns alcohol, petrol, and gas. But it's not working so well at the moment, and I'm not really sure why. But if things start to get more tricky and we can't buy meths, then we can buy petrol, and we can use the Whisper Light.
Yeah, options.
But
The Trangia is the dream.
Yeah, it's a dream. Great Swedish engineering.
Good tattoo as well, I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. If anyone wants to hand draw me a Trangia, then please just send it over. Battery setup for charging stuff.
It's actually been fine. Everyone always asks about how do we charge stuff, but every 4 days we probably go to a hostel where we can charge stuff, and we're not really using our phones that much except for photos and stuff. So we've got one battery pack each. It probably has like 4 or 5 charges for your phone, so it's actually just more than enough. I never empty my battery pack, and that's been absolutely fine.
I've also got a dynamo, which it didn't work so well, but now it's working again, and it usually charges my phone in a couple of hours, really.
Yeah, your dynamo is working so well, which means it's taking a lot of power
out.
out.
We can charge the battery packs. Yeah, I'd sometimes prefer the power to go to the bike, but that's okay. I've got no control over it.
Has eating veggie vegan been easy?
So, neither of us have been vegan at all, really. Sometimes, if we're in a touristy place, we would like try and go to a vegan restaurant or choose something vegan. But it obviously is possible to be vegan in Peru, but it would be unpleasant because even being vegetarian is a big struggle. They all eat meat for 3 meals a day. Genuinely, I can go to a restaurant and ask if they've got any vegetarian options, and they just laugh.
Yeah, they'll
or
just
suggest chicken. And yeah, so it's been quite a struggle being vegetarian and eating out, apart from in touristy places. And being vegan, yeah, would just be unpleasant. And food is such a big thing when you're cyclotouring. We're really hungry.
We just want big portions.
Big portions of something filling and enjoyable. I mean, we cook a lot, I guess, so it's quite easy to make that vegetarian.
And I guess our health is a priority in getting the calories in, and we've had to slip on that, but that's okay.
What do you do with your poop?
Well, kindly, thanks to Dave from Reynolds, as a leaving present, he gifted me the very appropriate gift of a poop shovel and some saddle saw cream, and the poop shovel gets a lot of use. So we do a nice dig technique. Dig, poop, toilet paper, cover, and then sometimes put a little twig, just in case Phoebe wants to go too. And then she knows that she doesn't have to dig up my poo. A dog did once dig up my poo, which was really stressful as I was trying to bury it. How many punctures? Oh, Christ. A lot more than your trip around the world.
Yeah. I
How
think
many have
I've
you
had
had?
5 or 6.
5. I think Tim had 3. I remember, I don't know now, he definitely punctured every single wheel. I think I may have only had 2. I had a really big one, and then a small one. Yeah, so what's that? 10 between us, which is actually quite a lot.
It's quite a lot, yeah.
I guess long ripio sections, long gravel sections.
Have you run out of loo roll at any point?
Well, we've gotten close. Close.
You always get a bit stressed when you think we're going to run out of loo roll.
Yeah, I'm quite anal, pardon the pun, about our loo roll inventory.
But I
And
think
you
we've
can also buy
actually
toilet
run
roll
out.
from every single shop in the
Yeah.
whole of South Africa, so it's okay. Best wildlife encounters?
We see lots of condors, which are majestic. We've seen lots of guanacos, which are kind of cute.
Vicuñas,
They're even cuter.
the like deery guanacos that
Yeah.
you get in Peru, which are really nice. Some tarantulas,
Yeah.
armadillos,
We saw those dolphins when we were surfing the other day.
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah, there were dolphins surfing with us the other day.
Oh, and we went on
Sea
that
lions.
wildlife tour.
Lots of birds.
And saw the penguins.
Saw some penguins.
Penguins.
Saw some river dolphins.
Lots of butterflies, actually.
Monkeys.
And how to cross the Darien Gap.
Well, our big plan is, I've actually on my 34-30 spend a week at sea. So it's a great opportunity to maybe get a boat from Cartagena in the northeast of Colombia and stop off in the Caribbean islands and do it that way to Panama. We're not really sure the logistics of it, but that seems like a generally good plan. I think it's quite expensive, but a week in the Caribbean on a sailing boat sounds pretty dreamy, so I think it will probably be worth it.
Yeah. There are lots of different, we might be able to hitchhike with someone who's doing it anyway, and then it might be a bit cheaper.
And Phoebe's obviously a sailor.
I've got the quals.
Yeah. Are you having fun?
Oh, I need to think about this one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, it's great fun.
Yeah, it's good fun.
As it goes.
Yeah, it's fun.
Does the job.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's better than selling couplings. Sorry, Dave. If you're listening.
Well, he's already heard you talk about the trout.
Well, I don't summon him like a genie. I don't say his name and suddenly he watches my YouTube videos to the end. That's a big ask.
Well, he would have, the trout would have hooked him in.